For decades, the unholy trinity of government, big pharma and the mainstream media have been running a con job on us all, gaslighting the masses into doubting the evidence staring them in the face. They fed us a fairy tale that autism rates skyrocketing off the charts are just a quirky twist of nature, nothing to fret over. And, wink wink, totally unrelated to the childhood vaccine schedule ballooning right alongside those diagnoses. It's just another vaccine-related coincidence, they say. But the deception has reached its limits. Nobody can deceive the masses indefinitely. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been digging into their secrets for years, relentless and unshakable. Now, he's inside the government, and he's armed with a bombshell so explosive, it's poised to topple their whole flimsy house of cards. Before we dive in, join the TPV free speech community over on Soju. Soju is a digital space where ideas and information can take place without any annoying algorithms or restrictive rules getting in the way of free expression. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time. But you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. Wise words from Abraham Lincoln that still echo today. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he is living proof of that. RFK is no dupe. He's locked onto the CDC, calling it what it is. A criminal outfit rotten to its core. Facing off with a hostile host, he stayed cool as still and laid out how rogue factions inside the CDC have cooked the books, faked research, and left a trail of fraud and deceit so blatant their top scientist is now a fugitive, hunted by Interpol. You won't catch that bombshell in the bought and paid for mainstream media. They're too busy polishing the narrative. But RFK is dropping truth like a sledgehammer, and it's got the vaccine industry shaking in their boots. What he's unraveling isn't just damaging, it's a full-on wrecking ball aimed at their empire of lies.
You still say that autism is caused by vaccines?
Yeah, autism is caused by vaccines. And by the way, CDC's own data, they did a study called the Verstratton study in 1989. And they looked at the hepatitis B vaccine. They looked at children, and from the biggest database in the world, the Vaccine Safety Data Link, they looked at children who got the hepatitis B vaccine during their first 30 days, and they compared those to kids who got it later or didn't get it at all. And there was a 1,350% elevated risk for autism among the people who got the vaccine.
There may well be, but there are studies with millions of people. You ignore the big studies.
You have this wrong. There's a series of about 13 studies that were done by people we call biostitutes. One of them was the leading one, who are people who do these studies for money for CDC. They were paid for by CDC in order to create the illusion that vaccines don't cause autism. The chief scientist was a guy called Paul Thornton, who CDC and his study is the most cited study for this proposition. And Paul Thornton is now a fugitive. He's wanted by Interpol. He stole millions of dollars from CDC that he had claimed to use on this study, but he was building houses, buying motorcycles, and living a life of luxury. And his study is absolute fraud. And yet they have not retracted it because CDC is a dishonest organization. It continues to be cited in the literature. And by the way, John, there are hundreds and hundreds of studies. I've written a book, if you're interested, called I'm Aerosol, Let the Science Speak, that has, I think, 1,400 references and over 400 studies cited that link autism and other related neurological injuries to vaccines. There is no question about it. If you actually read the literature, if you listen to what the propaganda that CDC tells you, yeah, vaccines don't cause autism, but it's propaganda. This is a captive agency that is intertwined and owned by the pharmaceutical industry.
RFK Jr. might have flubbed the year, turns out it was 1991, not 89, but that's just a hiccup in an otherwise dead-on bombshell. You can do your own research by checking out the study in the link below. I encourage everybody to do so. We're in critical times that demand our attention. Right now, the plan is to pump kids with a jaw-dropping 32 injections by age 2, and over 70 by the time they hit 18, all without a shred of long-term placebo-controlled safety trials to back it up. And here's the kicker. When Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dragged Anthony Fauci into the legal hot seat, Fauci had to choke out the truth. None of these vaccines, not a single one, has ever been safety tested. No spin, no cover-up, just the raw admission that they've been rolling the dice with our children's lives. This isn't just policy, it's a reckoning coming fast.
For many years, I was saying not one of the 72 vaccines mandated for children has ever been safety tested in pre-licensing placebo-controlled trials, not one. Tony Fauci was saying he's lying. In 2016, President Trump appointed me to run a vaccine safety commission. And he ordered Fauci and Collins to meet with me with White House counsel, present. And I said to Fauci at that meeting, you say I'm lying. For 8 years, you've been saying I'm lying about this. Show me the study. And he said, I don't have it here. It's back in Bethesda. And I'll send it to you. I never got it. So I sued him. Me and Aaron Siri, and after stonewalling us for a year, their lawyers met us on the courthouse steps and said, yep, you're right. We never had any study. And they gave it to us in writing. You can go to the CHD website, my website, and you can see that letter from HHS. There's no downstream liability. There's no front-end safety testing. That saves them $250 million. And there's no marketing and advertising costs because the federal government is ordering them ordering 78 million school kids to take that vaccine every year. What better product could you have? And so there was a gold rush to add all these new vaccines to the schedule that we don't need. Most of these vaccines are unnecessary. Many of them are for diseases that are not even casually contagious. It was a gold rush because if you get onto that schedule, the recommended schedule, it's $1 billion a year for your company. And in many cases, NIH is bearing the royalties.
The big pharma cartel thought they'd executed the ultimate heist, untouchable, slick, and silent. But their arrogance got the better of them. That overconfidence is about to cost them everything. They're on the ropes now, and justice is closing in fast. Stick with us. After the break, we'll lay out exactly what's barreling down the pipeline. Trust me, they're shaking in their boardrooms, and they've got every reason to be terrified. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippins says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippins says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer.